Dom Link, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to our show. We're doing well, we're having a wonderful day on it. 15 March 2025. We have a freaking beautiful weather. Let me show you because it's a blessing. Holy crap. Look at this. Look at this. This is amazing. This is insane. Look at this. Well, you're gonna be seeing it because if I have to film with this one, I can't really film with this camera, which is the backward, which has a better quality. So we're entering Yazil. Thank you, Ing. The Lord is with you, and whenever you go, keep walking with him and never stop. So super cool message. And again, it was kind of cool because yesterday, like I said, I'm not super knowledgeable when it comes to the Bible. I'm not super knowledgeable when it comes to religion. I'm not the most pious person. Wish I was more pious, but it wasn't part of my upbringing. And it's harder when you're an adult because you spent your whole life. It's like, and again, people can get mad at me, but I mean this in the most simple fashion. It's like somebody that has been a vegetarian their whole life versus somebody that's becoming a vegetarian. It's a belief system. It's a belief system. It's a way of life, and it's easier when it's a system or a way of life that is here from the beginning than in the middle. So super grateful. Of course, religion is something I am wanting to get closer to, but it's where do you start? Start at the church, start reading the Bible. I don't know, and then again, I'm in a position, and I'm not saying I'm gonna, but I'm in a position where I'm extremely lucky because I'm 32 years old. My cortex, which is the brain, is completely developed, right? So I'm capable of critical thinking, capable of understanding information, capable of understanding how do I feel about this. This is what's being said. How do I feel about it? This is what's being said here. Okay, well, you know what? I'm more so agreeing with that. So, with this, and you got many religion, right? From Christianity to Catholicism to Muslim to Hinduism to Buddhism to Judaism. There's so many of them. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I just big day. So yeah, so with that, it's nice because one day I'm gonna be a father, right? Not a father in the church, but a father, like a real father. And I'm gonna be able to say, you know what, I didn't have. This is something that was missing in my life, right? For example, discipline. My parents were very strict when it came to certain thing, but I never had like chores or shit like that. I never had them. So when it comes to being an adult and you have those chores and like, holy crap, what am I supposed to do here? I'm not used to it. So it's something. So there's some things I'm gonna bring to my life, and I don't know. Maybe one day I'm gonna have. Hopefully, one day I'm gonna have children, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? This is what was making my life. I'll make sure that your support. One of the coolest example that I have is my father. My father doesn't know how to swim. My father does not know how to swim. I was a baby. I was taking swimming lesson before I could walk, which is a true story. Um, of course, it's the fact that I love the water. If you didn't notice, I'm an Aquarius. But yeah, yeah. So I, I always feel like the fact that my father couldn't swim was one of the lesson of me swimming, right? And I think in the 90s it was very different because you would take classes. For example, I took karate, I took baseball. You would do like sports camp, right? And I don't think it is as common today. I don't know. So yeah. So the profanity, please. Now, this person wrote about this profanity yesterday. Now, this comment is a bit confusing because it's never stopped the profanity, please. So I don't know if the profanity are bothering you or you're telling me not to stop the profanity. If they're bothering you, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna stop. Okay. I know personally a lot of people that are gonna be swearing a lot more than me, right? And even though I do swear, there's never a case where I'm gonna swear at someone. I'm never gonna insult someone. My swearing is never aimed at a certain situation. It's just gonna be blurred out. It's just a way of talking. It's just a way of communicating, right? And there's a very specific reason for that. Now, way back in the days, I made a video about not saying sorry. So the reason why I don't say sorry, or I don't say sorry as much as I want to, is because as a kid I used to apologize too much. And because I used to apologize too much, I was in a position where it didn't feel real. It didn't feel honest, which is true. So the profanity also. I have a speech impediment. I speak really fast, so I really talk fast, and a lot of time people say, "Hey, I don't understand you. Speak too fast. Speak slower." Right? And to me, yes, I understand that it's easier to understand when you speak at a certain speed. But it's also the fact that this is the way I am. This is the way I express myself. You may not like it, but this is the way I express myself, right? And I was told so often, the way you're talking is not okay, that I just said, fuck it. I'm going to talk however I want. So if you don't like the profanities, I'm not going to change. I appreciate that you were nice. I appreciate the fact that you said please, but I'm not going to stop. And when I say I'm not going to stop with the profanities, it's not like, I win. It's more so like, this is me. This is who I am. Then there's this whole argument of freedom of speech, right? But there's also the case that I was talking about having kids in this precise video. There's gonna be one day where I'm not gonna be swearing because I'm gonna have kids around, and I don't want to have my kids swearing because I wasn't raised to be swearing. I'm not gonna be raising my kids to be swearing. So yes, there's definitely a part of me that says what he thinks right now, because there's this lack of responsibility, this lack of consequences to what I'm saying, right? But there's gonna be a day in my life where I'm not gonna be able to, and that day when it'll come. It's not the day. So I don't know if it's bothering you. I'm not gonna change. Sorry. You see, I shouldn't have to say sorry. And again, I understand that it's only a comment, but I shouldn't have to say sorry for being myself, right? I could go, and I don't want to go there, but see, God created us in His image, right? And God created us unique, and the greatest gift that God gave us was life. The second greatest gift that He gave us was will. The will to do whatever we need to do, whenever we want to do, to have this world of possibility. So if God created us in His image, and He created us with the freedom of thoughts, which is the ability for one person to believe something, and the ability to believe for another person to believe in something else. Now that is the image of God. It's a pretty example, right? You're gonna take a God created in His image, right? But He didn't create the animals in His image, so that's why we're the king of the jungle, kind of the king of the king of the world, the kings and almost fell, kings and queen of the jungle, right? But the only difference between us and animals is we have this will, we have this intelligence. We're working in a community, right? It doesn't matter what race you are, doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what language you speak. We can work together, right? I don't see a lot of fucking tiger working with sheeps, So once again, it's this freedom of thought and the freedom of speech. Yes, I do believe in this freedom of speech. I believe that you should be able to say whatever you want to say. If you're gonna hurt people, I have a problem with that. But if you, and I kind of understand where the person is coming from. Like, hey, your language is gonna be hurting people, right? But then again, where does it stop? Are you people gonna tell you how to think? If people are gonna tell you, hey, the way you think is not okay. Now, ultimately, that can happen. There's some thoughts you're gonna have, some opinions you're gonna have. They're gonna be different, right? But at the same time, I don't want to have a beehive mind. I don't want to be thinking like my neighbors. Not that my neighbors are amazing people, but we're different people. And if I'm thinking like my neighbors, we're the same being. This will fade away. This will change, right? But this is mine. And if anything, I have this. The rest I might be paying for it, but this is free. That's pretty much it. So appreciate, but I'm not gonna change.